Good morning, welcome to another midlife crisis guys video. My name's Adam and welcome to an absolutely glorious morning here in the Staffordshire countryside. Crazy spaniels, aren't you? What a beautiful day, really gorgeous. Yes, with you two. Good girl. And I want to talk to you this morning about a couple of things which I'm quite excited about with regard to hopefully my video making, filmmaking for the coming summer, and I like to call it bike packing season. As well as a bit of hiking and a bit of wild camping, whatever we can squeeze in what's probably going to be a bit of a short and compressed summer really, by the time we're all got the full go ahead to get out and do what we want to do. But let's keep our fingers crossed on that one. So I've discovered a couple of new things that I want to share with you today, just on a quick video. Firstly, it's just a setting that I've discovered, been well aware of. I'm not that naive not to know it was there, but I've never really used it before. And it's a setting on my GoPro 8 called Timewarp. First of all, I want to say a big thank you and a shout out and a recommendation to a YouTuber by the name of Mount Media. Now, there are hundreds and hundreds of videos and channels out there with regarding tips and tricks on how to use your GoPro or maximize the best use of your GoPro. I have chosen this particular guy because he's just sort of straight to the point. It's not all bells and whistles, and he's right smooth dude, but not consciously. He's just, and he's got, I don't know whether he's Italian, but he lives in the Italian Alps, and I certainly am gonna utilize this a lot more for my, it's ideal for whether I be out hiking, and particularly good on a bike, and I'm hoping with my bike packing, because I went out on a ride recently, my locality, all within sort of the local domain, as it were, with regard to staying in within guidelines for my daily exercise. I went quite far, but still within guidelines, and I did it safely. But anyway, I used this Timewarp feature for the first time and I was so impressed. It is silky smooth footage. Well, just see what you think. The other thing I wanted to discuss with you on this video today was this again, which I know I've mentioned a few times, and just if you weren't aware of it, it's the Insta360. Like I said, this is the old one. There's a newer version of this now, but 180 degrees either side makes the full 360, and it just captures everything, and it's incredible. It's an amazing bit of kit. I cannot tell you enough how good it is. And the beauty of it is using the Selfiestick. And here is, I've actually got a little tripod to use it just so I can stand it up. But this thing again was when I first used it. This is what I had when I first got the camera, and the selfie stick becomes invisible. And the fact is, if I just move back a bit, you can get some quite good height with this extendable pole and get some nice shots looking back down at things. And then along came the whole concept of just extending the selfie stick, making it a bit longer. Now, before I go on about that, let's just clear something else up with you. Drones. I absolutely, as a videographer and someone that goes out and about a bit, wild camping, hiking, biking, bike packing, blah, 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 love the idea of owning a drone. The trouble is with drones, one, they got some really bad press. Two, they're not particularly cheap, although I do concede the prices are coming down. Three, they're not easy to fly, but again, I concede they're getting easier and easier. Flipping dog. Right, where was I? Oh, those dogs are doing my head in. I love them dearly. Drones, they're getting easier to fly. I do take that on board. In fact, everything about them, they're coming down, they're easier to fly, the price, but there's still a relatively bad deal of press with them, I personally feel. A couple of drone owners have recently popped up on a local photograph group and have been taking pictures, amazing pictures, don't get me wrong. I cannot deny what the images that you can get with these things are utterly stunning, but there's the whole infringing privacy thing that just makes me think, you know what, it's a lot of hassle. So next best thing was, I saw videos regarding the extender selfie stick it can be for GoPros, you can use obviously for any camera really, but as I've demonstrated, particularly with the 360 cameras, these extender poles are really good. And I thought, and guess what, I got one. It's made by a company called Telsin, and it was recommended to me via this chap. Again, another channel I would recommend for any of you that has embarked on 360 cameras or whatever. This guy's brilliant. Anything new regarding 360 cameras, he's fantastic. So I'll recommend him. And through watching one of his videos, I purchased this. So it comes in a nice bag. Let me just set it up for you just to give you an idea. I'm going to take a step back. So this thing is incredibly light. I'll put it up exactly in grams. It's in grams because it's just really light. It has to be. But you can tell it's strong, it's sturdy, it doesn't bend. Obviously there's a degree of, at full stretch, you'll get that slight sensation. But it's strong material, but long being the operative word. So I'm gonna show you a couple of shots of this now. So I'm just gonna, it's got your 1/4 inch screw there, so your camera goes on nice and securely, because you wouldn't want this falling off. Straight away, one of the negatives of the Insta360 is the dreadful, particularly in bright sunlight, tiny little dial, LED screen. Well, it's not an LED screen, it's a little dial, and it's really hard to see when, in fact, excuse me, I need my glasses. There we go, the camera's on, I've charged it fully. I'm going to put it into video setting, and there's a little nice noise and the green light flashing, so I'm now filming. It's pretty cumbersome, you've got to be really careful when you use this thing, but alas, so it's nice and light with one hand, and you can probably see the slight bend. There is a slight bend there, but even with the weight of the camera on the end, I'm relatively happy. It's not hard work just to move my arm around. But again, as I keep harping on with the Insta360, the wonderful magic of new technology, it will cancel out the stick. You do not see the stick in the footage. But this thing is the closest I'm ever going to get to owning a drone. Does that make sense? Who knows, one day I might get a drone, I'd love to. But in the interim, this thing now, particularly with this extender pole, is going to give me even more options for shots. I mean, straight away I think of drone shots. Forgive me, I haven't got names to hand, but I followed a guy that did crib gawk. If anyone knows crib gawk, it's one of those things that one day I hope to get up there, but I genuinely am not good with heights, and I've seen videos of people going up there and literally freezing, as in not freezing cold but freezing because they are so utterly terrified. Just one of those challenges for me one day in life that I'd like to do it, but there you go, who knows. But I've seen a guy go up there with crib gawk, take a drone with him, and the shots were utterly breathtaking, and I just bowed my head and conceded that I'm never ever going to be able to compete with those sort of shots, because it was just beautiful. I'll try and find the video and put a link to it anyway. So the next best thing is this thing, because I'm going to get some extra height and give some more scale of places where I am. Realistically though, really, am I going to go up to the top of crib gawk get this pole out? I don't know, I don't know, makes me laugh, but anyway, there you go. But it does give me a lot of options, and I did use this the other day for the first time out on my bike. Straight away I should say a couple of things with regarding using a pole which extends to 3 meters, pretty much 10 feet long, on a bike it's potentially quite dangerous. All right, so I do want to stipulate that I chose a back lane which I knew was very, very quiet of traffic, no one around. And I proceeded to use the pole whilst riding. I'm quite a confident bike rider anyway, so I like to think it didn't affect my balance at all. Like I said, there were no pedestrians around, there were no animals around, there was no, importantly, low telephone wires around, and obviously the traffic I had to be careful of as well. So I was very thoughtful as to where I was going to use it. I wouldn't just willy-nilly get this out riding through a street, because that would just be daft. And deemed dangerous as well. So please take this on board, that I did think very carefully of safety implications before using this. But I have to say, riding along with a 10-foot pole kind of such like, I felt like a bloody jouster. And I've pinched a picture off the internet. It's a freebie picture, there's no copyright to it. So yeah, a jouster, that's how I felt. Kind of like, almost felt I needed to be on a horse. Running towards someone else with another extender pole. But there you go, that's kind of how I felt. But with all that said, I was quite impressed with the images, or the pictures and the video that I managed to get using this thing. So in a nutshell, really, really pleased with this. I'm going to have to be quite choosy as to where and when that I can use it, but I like to think it's going to be beneficial to my videos that I hopefully going to get this summer. I just want to finish on something completely and utterly unrelated to the video that I have just done. But with all these lovely clear skies that we've been having lately, I got the Canon out, the DSLR. I have got a bit of a zoom lens, and have been known, as with regard to the logo, my midlife crisis sky logo, of taking shots of the moon itself. But have you noticed as well, and I'm stating the obvious, it's to do, I've looked it up, when the moon rises, it's a beautiful sort of orange colour when it first rises. It seems to me when it's near the horizon, when it first sort of comes up, and then the higher it gets, it turns whiter. And that is to do with the fact that orange and red light doesn't scatter on the Earth's atmosphere early evening or when it sets in the morning. There you go, something to do with the atmosphere. I know just the higher the moon gets, it turns whiter. So I was determined, and I actually managed to say to remind myself to get ready to capture the moon rise. I can't, where I live, I haven't actually got the shot of it first breaking through landscape, but I've got a pretty good view of where it still comes up behind some trees, and I managed to get some shots of this the other day. Thank you so much as ever for watching the Midlife Crisis Sky, and I hopefully will be back very soon with something else. All the best.